Well, hello there, gorgeous. Okay, so let's get right to this video talking about a chemical peel for the face. I 100% really love my skin and care about it a lot. And so any kind of treatment that comes to my peripheral that sounds of benefit to my skin and is not invasive is something that I consider. So of course I had seen certain things across the times I had gone on social media, though I didn't look into chemical peels too much and I didn't really have full details about them. What happened is I went into my dermatologist because I have something called seborreic keratosis. And just mind you, I might be mispronouncing that. What it is kind of skin that grows over itself. Is really gross, to be honest with you, in my opinion, because it's basically like barnacles on your skin.
Swirling shrimp. That fiend is taking control of Barnacle Boy.
We get them, or some of us, as we age, we get them. And I started to develop them in different places, like on the sides of my face and a little bit on my neck. I even got one on my bum. I first learned that I had those, of course, when I went to get my eyebrows retouched for the microblade that I got done. The lady is a esthetician as well. And so she was like, oh, all this on your face, I can get that off for you. And I just didn't even notice that those things were on my face and were a problem. I guess I just kind of thought they were freckles or something. I don't know. But because they were on the sides of my face, I have all this hair that covers things. I didn't notice them so much until she pointed them out to me. Then, of course, I always saw them and really wanted to get rid of them. I did get rid of some on my own with salicylic acid, and I don't think any dermatologist would recommend anyone to do that. It was a risk, but at the time, I just did it. Anyway, some of them had come back, and this time I wanted to do it professionally, so that's why I booked in with the dermatologist. So when I booked an appointment with the dermatologist, it was 100% to get them cryo-freezed off. When I went there, she said that I had far too many on my face, and she suggested doing a chemical peel. I was I suppose, in a state of, I heard her professional opinion and I really wanted my face to be non-seborreic keratosis, but I was like, okay, a chemical peel? She told me a bit about it, and then after I accepted, she booked me in for an appointment. She did cryo freeze like one that I had on my neck, but she said for the rest, let's go with the chemical peel. I asked her what is involved in a chemical peel, and she basically said she puts on the peel acid. It won't be painful. I'll be red after, kind of like a sunburn, and then it will peel off, and then I'll have fresh, lovely face afterwards. She said she had got it done herself, so of course that made me feel really comfortable and I was ready. On the day of the procedure, it was very quick. We just went into her office and she applied it. At some points when she applied it, I did feel a burn. Almost. It was very close to a burn. And it was like she knew, because she started to fan me off time, hot. At any of these points where I was starting to feel like, whoo, hot. When I left her office, I felt tightness in my face, and it was definitely red, like that sunburn that she talked about. Day 2 and 3 were pretty similar. I started to have like dark spots on my face that were hard to touch, like scaly skin. which was fine. They gave a little cream, a lotion that I was supposed to put on with instructions and instructions for how I went about the aftercare. Most of the days were fine. When the peeling started to happen, it was crazy. It was gross. And I am very lucky that at that time I was working at this organization and we were all working from home because it was COVID. But when I got my chemical peel, it was the start of everyone integrating back into the office. And I was just thinking, it's so lucky that these days are not my in-office days, because it was just like hanging down from my face everywhere. It was really, really weird. I remember at some points, TMI, but that's what this video is, I could like feel it hanging down and I'd just be like blowing at it, like as if a piece of hair was in front of my face and it like flop up. Yeah. All of that wasn't too bad, but by the time I got to, I believe, day 5 or 6, that's when it was like, you know, when you have a procedure or something done and you get to a point where you're like, why did I do this? I wish I had never did this. I would never do this again. That's what it was like for me, because it started getting really itchy, burny, specifically on my chin right here. It was so itchy, burny. I just really could not deal with that. There was a point as well where when it started to come off, you could see like specifically on the cheeks, they were like this really soft baby skin. It was really beautiful. I loved that. But then about a day after that is when I started getting these little bumps almost on my face, on the cheeks, on the chin. And I am someone that is eczema prone, and I was worried about that and did speak to the derm about it. And she said it would be fine, that I would be okay. But when I got those little bumps on my face, I was like, I don't know if she really knew if it was going to be okay, because my skin clearly is not okay. And I'm at the point where everything's peeled off. It should be perfect now. What I had to do was go into a pharmacy. Chemical peels are not something that everybody knows about. So like 2 or 3 of the pharmacists that I went to were like, they didn't know what I was talking about. The final one that I went to, he suggested that I use something called aqueous cream, which I had used back in my London days. And once I did that, it was amazing. My face was really, really lovely. The moral of that is I definitely would recommend adding aqueous cream if you do go ahead and get the chemical peel. I'm glad that I got the peel because it did clear up the keratosis on my face. But are there better things that we can do? The jury's out. Seborreic keratosis can come back again as we age, so those barnacles can be there in full effect. So it's definitely something that I will likely live with for the rest of my days. But ever since getting the chemical peel, I have not had it as much as before. And I also learned to love my face more through the procedure, because it's definitely not something that I would want to get again and again. Some people do get them, I think, once a year or every other year, but for me, just because of that burny, itchy feeling in the chin, I don't think that I would ever get it again. But that's my experience and journey anyway. How about you? Have you got a chemical peel? What was your results? Why did you get it? Let us know in the comments. We love reading about each other's stories. They help us to decide and to know what's good. Speaking of what's good, don't forget to hit that subscribe, specifically because we're growing this channel to 25,000 subscribers at the time of filming this, and I know you're going to help us get there. Tune in for everything that this channel has to offer. You know I got you, girl. And until next time, love ya. Bye.